I mean, you've got to try something. And if you are the captain of West Indies, you try to figure out, especially Jaswal, you try to find out exactly how do you get around him.
Well, I would say crowd the batsman. That's one approach. It's Joseph. Comes in again to Jaiswal, and Jaiswal's edging, but it bounces just in front of Blackwood at second slip, who makes a great stop, and there's no run. But that's the thing that I've noticed with Ben Stokes. Like when there was nothing in the wicket at Rawalpindi, for example, last year in December, he just crowded the batsman, and that's what created the pressure. Just having many fielders. There's no pressure on these guys out here.
It's easy cricket. They're cruising,
yeah.
They relax, they're chilling.
Who, the bowlers or the fielders or the batsmen? As Jaiswal plays another one, there's a late dab and it bounces just in front of Blackwood again, and there's no run. So one ball to come on this over. So Joseph working up a bit of pace here.
Yeah. And I like what he's trying. He's trying to get it away from the batsman. Ball into its field. He has two slips in place, and and he's trying to see if he can get the batsman to edge the ball.
Here's Joseph steaming in, and this time it's a false shot from Jaiswal. He looked to drive that one, missed it, and it went through to Joshua De Silva behind the stumps. So that's the end of the over. Very good over there from Alzari Joseph. A few false shots, and the score here at Windsor Park is 286 for 2.
Well, it's after 4 in the afternoon, I believe, and it's the time when most people leave work in Dominica, Andrew, and so persons are encouraged to come to the Windsor Park. Don't go home. There's still a lot of cricket left, and we have a man who has scored 130 odd runs, looking to score 150, and he's looking good. So you can come and see some good cricket, even if you're somewhat in West Indies, but you can come and see some good cricket.
Oh, and you've got Virat Kohli, one of the world's greatest batsmen, at the other end. Here is Roach bowling to Kohli, and once more he just takes a run to point. There's a gap there. He moves on to 21. It's very interesting though, isn't it, that you just look at a guy like Virat Kohli. I mean, I know he hasn't had a great record in the last few years in Test cricket. I don't know exactly what his statistics are, but I know he's had like 100 in the last 3 years. But I don't think he's nervous or anything because he's so experienced. But it's the way he's going about his innings. He's just turning the strike over.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. Here is Roach bowling to Jaiswal, and he plays that into the leg side. He thinks about a run, but Kohli quickly sends him back. Probably pretty good call, because I think Kohli would have been run out by a mile there if he had carried on. But no, Kohli, he's just going about it in such a workman-like manner. There haven't been any flourishing drives or anything. He's just taking his time. He's 59 balls now.
That's very crucial. A bowler bowling a maiden over doesn't mean that you're a bad batsman.
Here's Roach bowling to Jaiswal and leaves it alone outside off stump. No need to play that. Says if you want to bowl there, fine, bowl there. It's a new ball. If you want to waste it, waste it.
Exactly so. I mean, so most batsmen feel that if a bowler bowl a maiden over, it reduces their score rate, or it reduces their status. No, it doesn't do anything to you. Once you have your wicket in hand, you're still there to see another day.
Yeah, well, we remarked earlier today on commentary when Holder bowled the first over today to Jaiswal, he was able to let all 6 balls go. Here's Roach bowling to Jaiswal. He's struck on the pad. It's a big shout, but umpire Kittleborough is unmoved. And of course, the West Indies don't have any reviews left now. Email Roach, if you really thought that one was out, he hasn't moved from the middle of the pitch.
So there's no reviews left for West Indies. Wow, this is a tough one.
Unfortunately not.
This is tough.
See a replay here. So
that one looked very close to me. Looked very close to me.
Oh yeah, hit the back leg. That's always a sign.
Yeah.
Yep. I think Oh, that's completely out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you got a feel for Kemar Roach there. No wonder he was disappointed. So that was it was a ball bowled from round the wicket, listeners. Jaiswal was beaten. The ball hit his back leg. The ball would have hit the top of middle stump, and it was given not out by the umpire. And everyone on the whole ground now knows it was out. Here's Roach. He'll be fired up. And Jaiswal's driving, getting off strike as Brathwaite does well to field the ball and hit the stumps, but Jaiswal was comfortably home. Now that's heartbreaking, isn't it?
Very heartbreaking. I mean, Roach has been laboring and, you know, working so hard and not getting paid. Andrew, how that feels, working so hard and not getting paid.
Isn't there a Dolly Parton song about that? Actually, just a slight correction there. It probably was hitting the bails between middle and.
Umpire's call.
No.
Close one.
Well, no, it wasn't umpire's call. It was out.
It was out.
Yeah, it was out. Yeah.
Well, they had no reviews left, so they wasted the reviews.
There's the next one from Roach to Cody, sails through to the keeper. He's left it alone. That's 282 for 2 at the end of the 103rd over here at Windsor Park. But the other thing too is...
I think the umpires may have thought that it would probably miss leg coming around the wicket, swinging into the batsman.
Well, this is what I was saying earlier about with the way Roach bowls. You know, like Stuart Broad, for example, goes wide on the crease when he bowls round the wicket, and the ball angles out. But Roach gets very close to this. It's a very unusual action. I've never seen anyone do that. So he doesn't have the same amount of angle. But the telltale sign there was a ball at the back leg. When it hits the back leg, it's generally out, unless it's too high. But what I was going to say is Richard Kettlewell is recognised as probably one of the premier umpires in the world. But he must be tired now, right? He's been out there all day. I mean, we're sitting here in the commentary box, you know, with a nice breeze. There's no sun on us. Here's Joseph beginning a new over, and Jaiswal lets that one go to through to Joshua De Silva, and there's no run.
Well, much to the disappointment of West Indies, they would have loved to see the back. They have Jaiswal. He has just been there like a wall, and here he lives to see another day, Andrew. Yeah.
Well, it felt, just carrying on that analogy, it felt like Roach felt like he's been running against a brick wall all day.
Oh,
He
yeah.
knocked a brick out of it, and it's stuck.
It's stuck.
Here is Joseph this time. Roll into Jaiswal. He's playing from the crease to a ball on the line of probably middle stump, and it's defended away up to mid-off where the replacement, Akeem Jordan, does the fielding, and there's no run. So, yeah, very spread field here. I guess it's understandable. Jaiswal's on 134, but I don't really understand why there's a deep square leg, for example. I think you could have a short cover or something. And here's Joseph to Jaiswal, and he works this one off his hip. Roach is down there. I'm surprised he didn't hurl that one in to the keeper even harder after being hard done by in the previous over. But that's the problem with the review system, isn't it though? Like, you can't review it and you can see it's out. The whole crowd can see it's out, so the umpire must feel terrible as well.
The review, yes, it has improved cricket, but there's two sides to it, because it also has caused umpires to be a little bit laid back in terms of, if it's close, they just don't give it out, because they figure there's a review system to confirm whether it's out. That's what modern day cricket is like these days, because of the fact that you have the review. Back then, I think the umpire would have given it out.
Here's Joseph again to Kohli, and always timed that beautifully, but straight to the man at mid-off. It's the skipper, Craig Brathwaite, and there's no run. These West Indian players look tired, don't they?
They would be.
There's no talk. There's very little energy in the field.
The sun has not been kind, Andrew. I mean, from Manning, from the first ball, the sun came out in all its glory, and it has been hot out there.
Yeah, beautiful day here in Rousseau. Here's a Joseph. This time, Cody's working it off his hip, and he looks to come back for a second as Warwican comes racing in. Coley there look eager to get to it, but it's just a single for Coley. He goes on to 22 as that brings up the 50 partnership between this pair of 150 balls. So that gives you some idea of a scoring rate.
Yes.
It's very slow going. Very, very slow going. Which is, yeah.
But this is Test cricket for you. There are balls that you have to just let it pass, let it go, and then when it comes to hit, you hit it.
Yes.
If it's a bad ball, you hit it.
This one is a short on the hip of Jaiswal. He defends it to Chandrapal at square leg, and there's no run. And that's 290 for 2 here at Windsor Park.
Yeah, 280 for 2 here at the Windsor Park. The crowd is coming in, trickling in, as we move to the 5 o'clock hour there in the afternoon. The shadows are creeping in. West Indies in a lot of trouble. 290 for 2. India is in a very commanding position. We saw a lifeline being offered there to Jaiswal. On the review, it appeared that it may have been out, but West Indies was without review, and the Carter will give us more of his thoughts on this. It's good to have him back to the microphone here this afternoon there at the Windsor Park Stadium. And we've just seen Cody they're trying, just dabbing this one there, and he gets 2 runs. So he moves on to 24. Let's welcome Andy Carter. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Heston, Charles. And India going along their merry way, 292 for 2. Jaiswal is still there on 135. Survived a very confident appeal, and the review showed that there were 3 red marks, pitching in line, hitting the stumps, but unfortunately the West Indies had no more reviews, and the decision stood as not out, as Roach Bowes deliver outside the off stump to Kohli. Kohli allows it to go through to the wicket keeper. So at tea, 245 for 2 of 81 overs. Jaiswal was on 116. Kohli was not out on 4. Since then, Kohli has advanced to 24, having faced 64 deliveries. Jaiswal moving from 116 to 135. He has already faced 330 deliveries. Here is Roach Bowes, a quick delivery, just slightly back of a length. Batsman covers up Kohli and pushes it to Afanaz, who is fielding at squarish cover.
Yes, I'm just thinking of the bowling action of Roach, and why the decision umpire may have not given it out, probably because he's coming around the wicket, swinging away from the batsman. Probably that may have been the reason why the umpire had a bit of doubt.
Well, whatever influenced him, he gave the decision not out, and clearly the replay showed for everyone to see on the big screen that the batsman was clearly out. The ball was hitting the stumps as Roach Bowes outside the off stump. Kohli allows it to go through to the wicketkeeper. So a 52-run partnership between Jaiswal and Virat Kohli. So a 229-run partnership, an opening partnership, breaking the previous partnership in the West Indies for India. The previous record was held by Virender Sehwag and Wasim Jaffer, who made 159 in St. Lucia in 2006. And today we saw 229 scored by Jaiswal and Rohit Sharma. Outside the off stump once again from Roach, and Kohli allows it to go through to the wicket keeper. So Sharma, the captain, out, caught by the wicketkeeper De Silva of Afanas for 103. He faced 221 balls, struck 10 fours and 2 sixes, and then we saw Shubman Gill go in when the score was 240, caught by Afanas that slip of the bowling of Warwican for 6. Since then, these two have added some over 50-run partnership. Here's George. The batsman is driving firmly to Roach, who fields well in his follow-through. Firmly struck there by Cooley, and Roach in his follow-through did quite well to hold on to the ball. The over comes to an end. It's the end of over number 105. 292 for the loss of 2. That's the latest score here at Windsor Park.
Yes, Roach, you know, he has been laboring very hard, and he would feel a little bit dismayed. Andrew Carter, he would feel a little bit disappointed that he didn't see the back of Jaswal. And we're coming down to the end of play for today, Andy Carter. We're in the last session, and right at this time we would expect more persons to come in the park, because 4 o'clock is the normal time when people leave work in Dominica. The shadows have crept in considerably, Andy Carter, you can see it, and we would encourage persons, you know, rather than going home, just come to the park and view the last session of play.
So it will be Alzari Joseph from the Botanic Gardens end. Windsor Park bathed in sunshine. Bright sunny day. We've been blessed with 2 beautiful days, and the cricket is absorbing. As here is Alzari, bowls a delivery, which the batsman is steering it down to the third man boundary. 4 runs it is, on the back foot, and playing it down to third man. Another boundary there to Jaiswal. He moves on to 139, and India now 296 for the loss of 2.
Yeah, Jaiswal again. He has begun a new innings, Andrew Carter, since he scored his 100. It's like he started all over again from 0. You can see his whole approach.
Yeah, he has batted quite well, quite resolutely, not wanting to throw his innings away. Seems to have an enormous appetite for runs. He's making his debut, but has had a wonderful domestic season, averaging over 80 runs over in India. As this one is playing at a loud appeal. Umpire Michael Goff remains unmoved. There isn't any more reviews from the West Indies, and let's watch it on the monitor.
The bat hit the ground.
Yes.
This is not out.
So no edge there, but yeah, West Indian players excited. They would want to get a breakthrough. You can see the spikes when the bat hits the ground.
Yeah.
No reviews remaining for the West Indies. India remain 3 reviews. So it's all in India's favor now. 296 for 2. Alzari bowls, the batsman is driving, Jaiswal misses, the ball goes through to the wicket keeper. So one of the few occasions that Jaiswal has played and missed, and the ball was there seemingly for Jaiswal, and he may have been disappointed not to have got bat onto that ball.
Very disappointed indeed.
So a lead of 146 runs on first innings as we approach the end of the second day's play. Can't seem to want to forget that the West Indies dismissed yesterday for 150, and India at the close of play yesterday were 80 without loss. They went on today to get to lunch at 146 without loss. So Jaiswal was on 62 and Sharma was 68, and then they lost 2 wickets. Sharma going for 103 when the score was 229, and Shubman Gill going for 6 when the score was 240. So they went to tea at 245 for 2, with Jaiswal not out on 116, Kohli not out on 4. Here is Alzari Joseph, gets a short rising ball, and the batsman Jaiswal gets on top of it, plays it to cover. Afanaz is in the way and they can't score.
Yes, and that's one he just dabbed it, and he sort of reset himself, sticking to bat. Should we say another inning? And he kind of seen that the replay showed that he was out. Is it safe to say that he's batting another inning?
Well, you could say that the highest scores on debut, Dhawan, Sharma, and now Jaiswal has joined them. That's illustrious group of players, Indian players. Joseph goes to Jaiswal. Jaiswal covers up, plays it to mid-wicket. Chandapal fields, and there is no run. The over comes to an end. Over number 106, 296 for the loss of 2. And that's the latest score here at Windsor Park.
Yes, and India is in a very dominating, and again I should say, reiterate, Andy, dominating position, almost 150 lead. Should I? Yeah, it's about that. Is it 150 lead? I believe almost 150 lead, or 148 about. Yeah, 148 runs, and that is certainly a good position to be in. So they may look to bat tomorrow up until lunch, probably up until tea, having probably close to 350 to 400 lead, and probably declare, Andy.
Well, I'm not too certain if India would be thinking of any declaration pretty soon, unless if they are thinking of if the weather will hold fair for the final 2 days. They may want to get this match over in case there is rain. But the first delivery from Roach is driven, and fieldsman there at cover prevents any run. But you watch the Grayson Shillingford and Irving Shillingford stand, well populated. The Clem John and Caleb Loras stand, well populated. And I think the Dominica Cricket Association should be well pleased with the attendance. Again, he pushes it to cover, straight to Warwican, and again he can score. On a midweek, Wednesday and Thursday, to have this sort of crowd.
It's very encouraging.
Imagine Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and
like?
This game would have gone to that stage. How it would be like, and with Afanas still to bat in the second innings, I dare say if the game goes to Saturday and Afanas is anywhere around batting, this place will be packed.
Yeah, and especially the folks from Granby. Good afternoon to the folks from Granby.
Roach Bose, well up delivery. Kohli drives, well knocked down there by the bowler. Fielding well in his follow through. Seems to be a good fieldsman to his own bowling. And it's not an easy task to be a fast bowler, running and in your follow through. The ball is coming back rapidly at you, and you've got to react very quickly. He reacts quickly. There's Roach. Here is Roach once more. Goes to Kohli. Kohli gets a delivery right in the channel there. Corridor of uncertainty, they call it. And that's one stung the wicket keeper.
Yeah, and the silver looked like this one sting him.
And he's calling for some treatment there. You can see someone is leaving the Billy Doctor Pavilion and will attend to the silver. And
does that say something about Roach, Andy? Does that say something about him, that he could cause the ball to sting the wicketkeeper? Does that say that Roach still have some fire?
Not much fire, but sometimes it's where you actually collect the ball. If you do not collect it in the sweet spot, as they would say, of the gloves, you could get, and not in the webbing or thereabout, you would feel that pain, because Roach is not express pace, and he has collected balls from Alzari Joseph without much stinging happening to him. But on that occasion, he may have just not got the gloves in the right position, and that caused him some
Probably
pain.
was a bit too casual.
I doubt it's casual. I wouldn't really put it too casual. But Kohli and Jaiswal, they use this opportunity to have a drink, have a word, mop up their brows. You can see them with the towels. They've taken the opportunity to take a breather, as you would say.
Yeah.
Kohli has faced 72 balls for his 24. Jaiswal 336 balls for 139. A mammoth innings there for Jaiswal on his debut, and anyone making their debut in any sort of cricket, could be schoolboy cricket, and you have 139 to your name, you have to be feeling quite proud.
Of course, you'll be feeling quite proud for this, accomplishment. This is a major accomplishment for any young man coming into cricket. Your first test and you're scoring your 139 not out, Andy. So that says you can go on to score 150 or even 200 if you please. I say good afternoon to the management and staff of Sutton Place. And Andy, you know Sutton Place? Sutton Place Hotel. It's right in the city there, just next to Cots Dominica.
It's on Old Street.
That's where our friend Andrew McLean is staying. That's where he is for having this wonderful accommodation, if you please, at Sutton Place Hotel. Say good afternoon to Christoph, the manager of Sutton Place, and also Fredo's Taxi. You know Fredo's Taxi?
So it's the first cycle pure Agapa fit test. The second one will be played in Trinidad and Tobago, and you are listening to the commentaries via Cut and Drive. Here is Kima Roach. Goes to Kohli again, getting the delivery right in that channel there, and allows it to go through to the wicket keeper. So we've seen some work done on Joshua De Silva's fingers, and he's back there. Did not have to leave the field. Holder there at slip, ushering the boys on. The vice captain is at second slip, Jermaine Blackwood. Akeem Jordan mid-off. Craig Brathwaite, the captain, at mid-on. As he comes forward, is Kohli. Strokes the ball to the man at cover. The over comes to an end. Over number 107. India 296 for 2. They lead by 146 runs. And that's the latest score here at Windsor Park. 296 for 2 India.
Yeah, 296 for 2, and I'm thinking that the fieldsmen should cheer on the bowlers a little bit more. The bowlers are laboring very hard. And when you look at the stats of the bowlers, they have been quite, moderate in terms of the scoring against them. They're not expensive, if you please. I mean, if you look at it, they're quite disciplined. And I've found that, the fieldsmen a little bit too, dejected, if you please. Cheer on the bowlers, move them on to get a wicket, if you please. Cheer them on to get a wicket.
So we're about to see a change of bowling from the Botanic Gardens end. We're about to see Raymond Riffer, left arm medium fast bowler, operating from the Botanic Gardens end, and he'll go to the left-handed batsman Jaiswal, who is on 139. Keep on reminding you that India lead by 146 runs as we come to the close of play on the second day of the cycle pure Agapafi test match played here at Windsor Park. Here is Riffer. Goes the delivery which the batsman allows to go through to wicketkeeper Joshua De Silva.
I'm just getting a message here that suggests because it was the second new ball, it would mean that West Indies would have re-effected their reviews, Andy. Is there any truth to that?
Well, you are the umpire. You should be able to give me that sort of information. I don't think so. And I don't think you should repeat something like that, being an umpire yourself. Pushes it on the onside, sets off for a run. The fieldsman shies at the stumps, misses, and the batsman scamper for a run. Jaiswal gets another run. He is 140. 140. And it was with the new ball that Roach had the wicket which was not given, a judge not out, so you could have made your own inference there that he had the new ball, and had there was a review, you would have taken it.
Yes, yes.
So you make your own conclusion. You do not get drifted and sidelined by
anybody
people
else
on WhatsApp. And this
they like to do that, Andre.
Yes, well, you've got to be careful, Aston.
Yes,
you are an umpire, you should know better than that.
Yes, yes.
The lead is 147.
I like that Rappo.
297 for the loss of 2. Kohli on 24. Jaiswal on 140. The West Indies have decided to try Raymond Riffa. Bowling over the wicket, left arm. Bowls well up delivery, pushes it to the left of Hakim Jordan, comes in quickly but can't prevent the batsman from crossing. They say the batters right now, so
they say batters because women play cricket, so they sort of have a generic term, Andy, to ensure that you accommodate the women. So you say batters.
Yes, I
because ladies play cricket.
I still believe when the ladies are playing, you use batters, and when the men are playing, you use batsmen. But
I agree.
I think the ICC has recognized that batters is what that will be used. As Riffa bowls to Jaiswal, he plays it to mid-on, and there is no run. So most runs in tests, again, shown on the screen.
Tender card.
15,921 runs.
That's a lot of runs.
But a lot of test matches, 200 test matches. Durability at its best. Here is Riffa. Bowls a delivery, which on this occasion doesn't rise, it keeps low. Balls goes through to the wicketkeeper. The over comes to an end. Over number 108, 298 for the loss of 2 India. The latest score here at Windsor Park.
Yeah, Tendulkar also had the benefit of playing a lot of cricket. He got into Test cricket very young, Andy Carter. So that gave him the opportunity. He had the privilege, to play a lot of matches, and that allowed him to score a ton of runs. We are here at the Windsor Park there, and West Indies is 298 for 2. The crowd is trickling in, and people are coming to get the last session, the remaining overs of the last session of play. We are really hoping that probably there may be, a sort of a fighting spirit from West Indies and Bicata, something that can really bring the fans back here tomorrow, because it's so important that there is a contest. Because if there's no contest, people will be discouraged. But if there's a contest, there is something to look for. There is something to pay your ticket for. And people want something to pay the ticket for. And hence, West Indies need to put up a fight. They need to show some resistance. They need to be a little bit more defiant. And that would encourage the crowds to come out, Andy.
Yes, indeed. I certainly agree with you. The more fight the West Indies can show, the more the public will come out and support. But we see the introduction or the reintroduction of Jomel Warrican from the river end. There's both 31 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 75. Bowls to Kohli, the first delivery, stroked there to cover. Alec Afanaz fields well, and there is no run.
The fielding has been considerably good by West Indies.
Warrican pushing this one through. Batsman Kohli playing back, but keeping his eyes on the ball, and in the end playing it quite well.
Yeah.
Warrican again draws Kohli forward. Good length delivery. Kohli
It's circumspect if he plays.
in defense.
Yeah.
25 years, 79 deliveries he has faced. So we come to the end of play on the second day of the Cycle Pure Agabafi test. First in the 2-match series. That's Jomel Warrican.
Yeah.
Warrican bowls a delivery which the batsman just plays it with a dead bat in front of him. Wicketkeeper That's from behind the stumps, picks up and there is no run. Warrican again. From around the wicket. He's driving his Kohli, beats the man at extra cover. Down to the boundary it goes. A glorious shot coming forward to delivery, flighted, and Kohli playing it beautifully for extra cover for 4. Moves him on to 29.
A glorious shot by Kohli. He is not the batsman that you should allow to settle on you, because if he settles on you, you will live to regret it. So West Indies to be very careful. They need to put Kohli under more pressure.
So there is a squarish cover, extra cover, man on the long off boundary, and the mid-on comes forward, plays to seal him off, and there is no run. The over comes to an end. At the end of over number 109, India 302 for the loss of 2.
Yes, and that's the position that it only takes a brave fieldsman to field there. Have you ever fielded there, Andikara? You have to be brave to field in this position at this city mid-on. And so we see Kohli getting into his form, and he's settled now. He's on 29, and Andikara he's considered the world's best batsman, and to have this man there certainly is more trouble for West Indies.
Well, India lost their second wicket when the score was on 240. So these two have added some 62 runs between them. As the batsman is guiding this one. Down to third man it goes. They run 1. German Blackwood gives chase from slip, but the batsman cross comfortably for 2 runs. Jaiswal playing this one late. They're showing the wickets. Sharma going caught the silver, bowled Afanas for 103, playing bat onto the 5, and a good catch taken there by Joshua De Silva.
Very good catch. He was very alert to take this catch.
Giving Afanas his first test wicket in his first test match. Here is Rifa. Bowls, the batsman is across, Jaiswal playing it straight to cover, and there is no run. And then you saw Shubman Gill caught Afanas at slip, bowled by Warrican, coming forward, pushing with hard hands at the ball, and Afanas holding on to the catch and congratulated there by his teammates. Here is Rifa from the southern end. Bowls to Jaiswal. Jaiswal is whipping this ball down to mid-wicket. Chandapal will come off the mid-wicket boundary and will get 1 run. Jaiswal moves on to 143. 305 for the loss of 2. India lead now by 155 runs.
Yeah, I would think that West Indies should try Holder. He has been very moderate, you know. It has not been expensive, and has a few maiden overs. He may just create trouble for the Indian batters.
Well, De Silva, the wicketkeeper, comes up to the stumps as Rifa bowls now to Kohli. Kohli is playing this one beautifully, beats the man at cover. There's a chase there for the fieldsman. They run 1 and they come back for 2. And Kohli is a man who runs their first run very quickly. And if there's any hint of a second, Kohli is the man who will capitalize and get the second. He gets 2 runs, he moves to 31, and India now 307 for the loss of 2.
Kohli looking good.
Here is Rifa. This one beats him as he was trying to guide it past the slip down to the vacant third man region. Misses, and a good clean take there by wicketkeeper De Silva.
Good.
Fine take. And Raymond Rifa, we can see the scoreboard saying 3 overs and 1 ball remain in the day's play. And it's all, we'll all await because the clock is ticking on to 4:59. Goes to Kohli. Kohli pushes it on the offside. The Hakim Jordan runs across to his left. Can't prevent a run. Kohli gets another run. And 308 for the loss of 2. And Kohli is 32. Jaiswal is 143. India 308 for the loss of 2. The latest score here at Windsor Park.
Yeah, I think the silver noticed that Kohli is batting right on the crease, so he felt it may be necessary to see if he could force a stump out by coming up close to the wicket and the cutter. If you notice, Kohli is batting right on the crease, so you figure probably if he lose balance, he may secure a stump out.
And that is a way from preventing a man like Kohli from leaving his crease, keeping him entrenched in his ground.
Keeping him there in his ground. He noticed that he's batting on the crease, so he putting some pressure on him.
We're about to see Jomel Warrican in his 33rd over. And we see on the scoreboard 3 overs left in the display. So 3 overs with Warrican bowling. Might just be here till about 10 or 15 minutes after 5. Here is Kohli driving, finds Hakim Jordan at cover, and there is no run. So Kohli, a patient knock, 32 years. Waits now, gets a good delivery from Warrican, pushes forward, and there is no run. Crowd absorbed into this proceeding so far. Intense cricket. As Kohli gets one, he works it to the right there of the substitute fieldsman. Looks like Tevin Imlak, and the batsman crossed for 1. So 1 more to Kohli. He's on 33. Jaiswal is 143. India lead by 159 runs. So from what is on the scoreboard, after this one we'll have 2 more overs, and it will complete a successful day for India, having resumed overnight on 80 without loss. They're on 309 for the loss of 2. Here is the Jaiswal coming down the track, and maybe Warrican seeing him and trying to push the ball wide, but Jaiswal was equal to it, got the full face of the bat onto the ball. Here is Warrican once again. Bowles is driving and missing. Delivery just outside the off stump. The left-handed batsman essaying a drive. Not showing any signs of tiredness there. Jaiswal, 143. Gets the delivery which he plays back and across. Pushes it to mid-off. Hold the fields. The over comes to an end. At the end of the over, India 309 for the loss of 2. The latest score here in so far.
Yes, India would certainly be, relieved to get a wicket. West Indies will be relieved to get a wicket there, and Dakota. I mean, they have been labouring. They had a close call there with Roach to Jaiswal, and a lot of persons felt, and even when we saw the review, that was a life offered to Jaiswal. And so to see the back of Jaiswal would have been refreshing for the West Indies team. And they are out there labouring, and it looks like India may have a solid lead going into tomorrow and Dakota. We go into Friday. Tomorrow is Friday, and we're hoping Dominicans like Friday and Dakota. They call it TGI Friday.
We're about to see Alik Afanaz from the Botanic Gardens end. He had the wicket of Rohit Sharma, and he's struck in front. A loud appeal, the crowd roars, and the umpire Michael Goff remains unmoved. It's one we would love to see again on the monitor. Pitched on and hitting the back leg.
Oh my God. Andy, what do you think about that?
Here is another delivery from Afanaz. Afanaz is bowling there on the legs of Kohli. Kohli strokes it to mid-wicket. Warrican picks up. Kohli gets another run. 34 he is. Jaiswal is 143. And a very close one. That's all I can say at this point in
Very
time.
close, indeed. Very close.
Here is Afanaz bowling from around the wicket. Right arm off break. Goes on the back foot is Jaiswal. Finds Roach at squarish cover and he can score. Monumental knock by Jaiswal. 40 he was overnight. Now 143. Goes on the back foot and Roach again effecting a wonderful stop there. How well he has fielded at that cover point position, Kima Roach.
Not out. Not out. Oh, pitching outside the leg stump, so it's not out.
And this one spins away from Jaiswal. Good delivery there from Afanaz. And certainly bowling very well for his captain here today. Spinning away and going into the gloves of the wicketkeeper. So I can't really rely on the judgment of Heston Charles. That's why I remain silent when he asked his questions. The over comes to an end. A good one by Afanaz. Just one run coming off that over. He completes his 14th over and 33 runs has been scored off him.
Well, I didn't say it was out, Andy. Well, we seen the energy there with the music and in the background, and the crowd certainly is very pleasing. We may have at least 4,005 persons here, Andy Carter. Probably 5,000 here about.
That again is Heston's judgment.
Yeah.
I dare not go into that. I leave all these things to Heston. He maybe knows figures much more than I do. But what I can say on a Thursday, it's a very good crowd.
Very pleasing.
Good crowd on the Clem John and Caleb Laura stand. You can see the Grayson Shillingford and Irving Shillingford stand, well populated. The cricket has been intriguing, intense, although not in favor of the West Indies, but Dominicans love good cricket. As Kohli goes back, plays towards mid-wicket, Hakim Jordan gives chase, and the batsmen cross comfortably for 2 runs. So 2 more to Virat Kohli. He's on 36. India 312 for the loss of 2. They lead by 162 on first innings. So
they're looking to really put up a good total there.
Warwican bowls to Kohli. Kohli is stroking it back along the track. The bowler fields and there is no run. So possibly this could be the final over of the day's play. Warwican 1 for 82. Left arm goes to Kohli. Kohli is played back. A good judger of length. Playing back. Judges the length well. Plays it to short leg. Shandapur fields and there is no run. Warwican again. From the river end. Quick flat delivery. Once again Kohli is compactly behind it. Plays it back along the track, the bowler fields and there is no run. So 2 more balls left in this over. Here is Warwican. Will he flight this one? Let's watch. Flights this one, but Kohli is equal to it. Plays it on the offside. Playing for the close of play, Kohli. An experienced campaigner. One who has made 28 centuries and 28 half centuries on the list of the highest scorers for India, along with people like the coach Rahul Dravid and Sachin Tendulkar. Long list. As here is a flighted delivery by Warwican, brings about the end of the over. Kohli is walking away. Kohli is not out on 36. Jaiswal not out on 143. 143 of 350 balls. Kohli 36 of 96 balls. And a session where we had 32 overs, 67 runs were scored, and the West Indies did not take a wicket. So at stumps on the second day of this cycle pure Agabafi test, the Indians, they close on 312 for the loss of 2.
Job well done, Andy Carter, by the Indians.
Yes, they would have come out here with a plan, and they've lost only 2 wickets, and the day belonged to Jaiswal not out 143 of 350 balls, and what a knock this debutant has had here at Windsor Park Sports Stadium.
Yes, he was unfazed from the time he came out to bat there as an opening batter there, and Rohit, stayed there with him, the more experienced Rohit and the cat. And the two went on to score the centuries, but Jaiswal is still there, and it appears that he will come back there tomorrow looking to score his 50, because he's about, I believe it's 40, 45, 46. Yeah, 40. Yes, so he will look 143, so he needs another 7 to get 150. So certainly he will be looking to eclipse the 150 total. So here we are at the Windsor Park Stadium. The day's plays have come to an end, and we, apart from West Indies' poor performance, from what we have seen from the Indians, we can say we have had good cricket here at the Windsor Park.
Yes, good day cricket. Jaiswal and Rohit added 229 of 455 balls. Gill and Jaiswal only added 11, and an unbroken partnership between Kohli and Jaiswal of 205 balls. At the end of the second day's play, India 312 for the loss of 2. The bowling, Roachboat 16 overs, none for 38. Joseph 14 overs, none for 65. Cornwall, whom we did not see, 11 overs, none for 22, sustained some sort of injury. Warwican, a long spell of 34 overs, 1 for 82. Hoder, 14 overs for 28 runs. Brathwaite, 6 overs for 12 runs. Afanaz bowled 13 overs and picked up the 1 wicket for 33 runs. Warwican, the other wicket taker, 34 overs, 1 for 82, and these were the 2 wicket takers for the West Indies. So here you have it. West Indies all out for 150. Afanaz 47, Brathwaite 20, Cornwall 19 not out. Ashwin took 6 wickets, and Jadeja 3 for 26. 6 for 50 for Ashwin, 3 for 26 for Jadeja, and yesterday we saw India beginning to bat. They resumed overnight on 80 without loss, with Jaiswal not out on 40. He has ended the second day's play on 143 not out. So a very good knock, up the rate, and patient knock, showing he has what the temperament required at Test cricket. So that's the position here at Windsor Park Sports Stadium. Still bathed in brilliant sunshine. We have to praise the Almighty for having blessed us with wonderful weather, and we have come to the end of the second day's play in the cycle pure Agapafi test, the first test here at Windsor Park, the end of the second day's play. And just to repeat, West Indies all out for 150, India 312 for the loss of 2. The highlight being Jaiswal 143 not out. He struck 14 fours. Kohli is with him, 36 not out. We saw Rohit Sharma, the captain, getting 103 of 21 balls, 10 fours and 2 sixes. So until you join us here tomorrow for the third day's play, we all bid you goodbye from Windsor Park Sports Stadium. Thank you.
You've just heard commentaries on the West Indies India series, a production of the Cut and Drive Network. Join us again for more on Cut and Drive.